disturbance from your end. Okay, thank you. So we will be beginning with MER 02, which is fundamentals of entrepreneurship. So I what I have thought about this course code is that instead of going block by block, I will dedicate today's session to understanding the basic concepts of entrepreneurship, and the major topics those are covered in your MER 02, which is mainly women entrepreneurship, theories of entrepreneurship, innovation, various types of entrepreneurship, etc. etc. So I've prepared a slide, I've prepared a presentation in which I will be covering the basics first, which will cover topics from all the three blogs of MER 02, all the 13 units of MER 02. Okay. And then in tomorrow's session, we will go block by block and see which are the concepts that I've missed in today's presentation, and if there's any need to discuss or analyze any of those. Okay. So I will be sharing a slide now, which doesn't belong to any one of the units. Rather, it's an amalgamation of all the 13 units. Okay. So give me a minute. I'll quickly share my screen. So I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So to start with, we need to understand who's an entrepreneurship or what is entrepreneurship. Who's an entrepreneur or what is entrepreneurship? So, who's an entrepreneur? If we talk specifically in terms of economic or the economic definition of entrepreneur, means anybody who's uh, engaged in the process of running or maintaining a business with an objective of earning some financial gain or making some profit. So that's the basic definition for definition of an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is a person who's engaged in um, running a business or maintaining a business so as to make any financial gains or so as to earn profits. But there are more sides to it. Entrepreneur just not uh, means this much. There are more sides to an entrepreneur, there are more sides to an entrepreneurship that we'll be discussing in the further future units as well, when we'll be studying about the types and etc. So who's an entrepreneur? Anybody who starts an enterprise and is bent upon taking it to another levels by succeeding in making profits, by surviving in the business environment, by bringing some innovations to the market. These are the basic uh, qualities of an entrepreneur. Okay. So one of the important aspects here is startup. Can you see on the scene? Startup means then that an entrepreneur has to start up a business, maintain or run the same, thereby making profits. So when can an enterprise or an entrepreneur enter a business environment or enter a market? whenever they have something new to offer, whenever there is some innovation, that innovation may relate to product or the services that they are offering, that innovation may relate to the process of offering, even if it is an old product, if there's innovation in the process of offering the same old product, if there is any innovation of a new market, of a new segment of market where they could target it, there has to be a scope to enter a market, right? So that scope comes from where? It comes from bringing an innovative product, service, process, market, anything to the plate. You have to bring anything new to the plate. For instance, look at this example: Urban Company, previously known as Urban Clap. I'm sure you must have heard of this company. So what is it? They are bringing just the old services. The products and services are not new. Beauty parlors have existed since ages, you know. Grooming services, cleaning services, spa services, or plumbering, or painting, or carpenting, all of that have existed. Repairs, all of that have existed for ages. But where was the innovation? What was the innovation that Urban Clap came up with? The innovation that it brought to the market was what? The process in which these old products or services will now be delivered. Okay, the process through which you don't have to traditionally or conventionally look for a plumber or for a carpenter in your local market. You can just get those services by a tap on your phone, right? So it is the process of delivering the same old services that was the innovation which was brought to the market by Urban Clap, or now known as Urban Company. So entrepreneur, so innovation becomes a very basic criteria of entrepreneurship or of an entrepreneur. Now, so if we discuss about what is entrepreneur, the simple and basic definition speaks of what? The function of entrepreneur is one that promotes ideas into business, or entrepreneur is one who assumes risks and management of business. But the definition given by Peter Drucker is the one which is more comprehensive and is more of an integrated definition, and this is the one that I suggest students to refer to, which says that entrepreneur is one who always searches for change and responds to the same by exploiting those changes as an opportunity. Innovation being a specific tool of entrepreneurs, it is a means by which they exploit the change as an opportunity for different business or services. So, if you closely look at the definition given by Peter Drucker, there are three aspects to it. One is what? Search for change, quest for finding some change. Okay, some options, some choices. So there's always a search. They always look out for a change. Then they respond by converting those changes into opportunity. And the third aspect of this definition is what? Innovation. To respond um to the changes as an opportunity in an innovative way. In an innovative way. Okay, innovation is what is required to ensure that they can grab some opportunity in the market, in the current marketplace. So by going through the basic concepts, meaning and definition of entrepreneur, what can you figure out? What characteristics or properties of an entrepreneur can you figure out from here? One, an entrepreneur is always action oriented. They're always action oriented. They look for opportunities. They are very active. They don't just uh, you know they don't just sit and plan. They rather act. Entrepreneurs take their ideas to an actual form. So from the stage of idea generation, to actually implementing it in the market, to actually producing it in the market in the form of a product or service, is what entrepreneurs do. So they start from the scratch, they start from the stage of idea generation, and then they take it to the stage of actualization. Entrepreneurs are thinkers as well as doers. The dark side represents what they are thinkers, and the bright side represents what they are doers as well. So they not only think, but they also do it. So there's an amalgamation of both. So there's a popular myth that you will come across while reading Unit 1 or Unit 2 in your study material, that entrepreneurs are only thinkers and not doers. So that's a myth. Okay, entrepreneurs are thinkers as well as doers. They assume and accept the risks associated. They assume and accept all the risks associated with with the decision, with the idea, with the choice, and they manage to sail through it. So look at the picture. Look at the picture. Any idea that, or any opportunity or any choice that that an entrepreneur makes always consists of risks. Those risks might just take the entrepreneur ahead and help them succeed in the marketplace, and at times it might just backfire and make them incur huge losses. So there's a huge risk involved whenever they are bringing anything new to the table, and they should be ready, they should be prepared to take that risk, to take the consequences of such ideas and choices. So entrepreneurs are who? They are the initiators of action. They are the stimulators of social economic change. Now, this is one point that I think I need not much stress upon, because in the previous two sessions of MER 01, this is what we've been doing, the factors, how entrepreneurs are very important to the economy, how they have a major impact on the economy, on the GDP, on the foreign exchange reserves, on the employment generation, etc., etc. They are the harnesser of resources. They are the one who are taking the resources um, from the society, and then making it useful, converting it into some useful product or services for the public. What are the characteristics of entrepreneurs? They need to be hardworking. It just doesn't happen like a slot shot game. They have to work hard to achieve it. They have to work hard to survive in the market. They have to work hard to get through their way amongst so much of competition. So entrepreneurs need to be hard workers. Entrepreneurs are usually sincere. Not usually, they have to be very sincere. Sincere um, about their profession, sincere about their business, sincere about the whole process of delivering innovative products and services to people in some innovative manner. Prudence means they have to be positive. They cannot have a negative orientation, because they have to assume risk. When will one person be able to assume risk? When they are prudent, when they are positive thinkers. Negative people cannot take risk, right? And if you cannot take risk, you cannot become an entrepreneur. So there's a very popular saying in the uh, financial environment, that the higher the risk, the greater the return, right? The more risk, the more return you can expect. The lower the risk, the lower the return. So it is important for the entrepreneurs to assume risk, and they'll not be able to assume risk until they are prudent. So they've to be positive. They should be positive. They should be of positive mind. They should be highly motivated, again for the reason, because if you're not motivated enough, you'll not be able to assume risk, and you'll not be able to motivate your employees, you'll not be able to motivate your team. So you have to be self motivated. You have to be self reliant. Entrepreneurs do not have to depend upon anyone else. They cannot be dependent that, my team will do it for me, my employees will do it for me. You have to do it yourself. You have to be independent. If you're not going to do it, nobody else is going to do it for you. Optimism. They have to be uh, positive. They have to be positive about their innovations, the risks they are taking. I'm sorry, I missed a point here. Under prudence, the entrepreneurs are supposed to be being prepared to the negative consequences as well. So prudence, or the principle of conservatism, means that you have to be prepared for losses but not profits. You have to be prepared for losses, expect losses but not profits. So you have to be prepared for the worst situation. Optimism, you have to have a positive orientation. Foresightedness, we just read the definition of Peter Drucker, where it was said that they have to search for changes. When will they be able to search for changes? When they have foresightedness. So it's important that they are foresighted and they are futuristic. They look for uh, what changes might take place in the coming time. They have to be innovative or creative. They have to be innovative or creative, because that's the way you can survive for long in the market. They should be risk taking. The higher the risk, the higher the return. The lower the risk, the lower the return. They should have good communication skill, because you're supposed to be building your networks. You're supposed to be communicating your objectives, your policies to your employees. You're supposed to be communicating with your customers to get feedback. So it is important that you have good communication skills. They should be highly energetic. That is how they will be able to energize even their team. They should be able to plan and organize. That's again another inherent quality or characteristic of an entrepreneur. What are the types of entrepreneurs? See, this is given in your book, but not categorized like this. So when we talk about types of entrepreneurship can be classified on various bases. Okay, so one such uh, popular classification has been given by Clarence Danhoff. So you have to explain it this way. Whenever you're asked in the examination about classification of entrepreneurship or about types of entrepreneurship, there are two different people who have given types of entrepreneurship. One is given by Clarence Danhoff, and the other one is given by Arthur H. Cole. So you have to name the philosophers, and then the management thinkers, the management gurus. You have to name them and then classify the types accordingly as given by them. So, what are the types of entrepreneurs as per Clarence Danhoff? There is a popular classification. These types that has been given by Clarence are the popular classification. This is more prevalent. So Clarence Danhoff divided or classified entrepreneurs in four types. One, innovative entrepreneurs. Second, adoptive or imitative entrepreneurs. Third, Fabian, and finally, drone entrepreneurs. So I'll be teaching you the concept of all these four with the help of certain examples so that you find it easy to understand the same. I'm sorry. So, who are innovative entrepreneurs? So innovative entrepreneurs are the one who come out with any kind of innovative entrepreneurs are the one who come out with any sort of innovation. That innovation can be with the help of, in the form of introduction of a new product or a new quality of an existing product. Innovation of product or a new quality of an existing product. For instance, I've taken the example of mosquito repellents here. So initially you used to get, mosquito repellents in the form of a bar. Okay. And then it came in the form of those coils, those spiral shaped coils, right? And then the same product which solved the same purpose, what was it? To repel mosquitoes. It came in the form of a liquid, which was first, initiated by All Out. So it came in the form of a liquid mosquito repellent. After some time, it came in the form of what? Some It came in the form of some gel, which you could apply in your body to repel mosquitoes. After some time, it came in the form of what? A mosquito repellent racket. Okay, so instant killer. So the product is same. The purpose, the core product or the purpose of the product is same. What is it? To repel mosquitoes. But then the same thing has come in different qualities. The same thing has come in different qualities to solve the same problem, same old age problem. So this could be one of the ways innovation may be done. The other way is when the product is same, but the method of production, the method of processing, the method of producing the same is innovative. So the other way in which innovative entrepreneurs could enter the market is by bringing a new method of production. For instance, look at the screen, you might figure out instant coffee maker or instant tea maker. Okay, so the product is same, but now instead of, the traditional or conventional method of making tea, wherein you need a stove also, you need a cylinder also, you need um, a pan and a lot of different other uh, raw materials to do the to make the same tea. Now what is it? The effort is getting reduced, the time is getting reduced, the cost is getting reduced by such instant coffee makers. Okay, so just imagine any MNCs or TNCs, multinationals and transnationals, in their offices where there are over 500 or 1000 employees working at the same time on different floors. How is it possible? How many peons would be employed just to serve 3 cups of coffee on an average to every employee? Several. To make it economical, what can be done? There are instant coffee makers who would cut the cost of the employees, who would cut the cost of other raw materials, cylinder, stove, lot of things, at just what? Certain units of electricity. So this is also one of the ways of innovation that allows entrepreneurs to enter the market. What is it? Bringing the same product using a different innovative process. Then there's a possibility to become an innovative entrepreneur by opening of a new market. So you must have, in case you view or you see Shark Tank, you must be aware about this. Otherwise, also, their advertisements are very popular these days on Facebook, Instagram, and at every other place. So um, there's this organization raising superstars who were first who had first public appearance on Shark Tank, but they came up with what? New innovative way of entering the market. They opened a new section of market, they opened a new segment of market, they came up with a new market itself. What was the market? See, previously also there was an academy, there was Byju's, and there were a lot of academic institutions who were providing coachings, tuitions, um, and counseling sessions to students. But those were the school going students. Those were the students who were, maybe in second standard, third standard, fifth, eighth, 10th, 12th, or for professional uh, programs. But they came out with a new market, and that new market consisted of kids ranging from age of 0 to 2 years old. Now they came up with a product which was again what? Academic related, teaching, counseling, guiding. But the market was that they brought with them was new. That wasn't prevalent previously. That wasn't existing previously, which was what? Those of the kids aging between 0 to 2 years old. Okay. So that's also one of the ways in which innovative entrepreneurs can function. Another way is discovering a new source of supply of raw materials or semi finished goods. For instance, there are now biodegradable plastics. They're biodegradable plastics. Now, the raw material being used was always some sort of plastic, but they've discovered a new source of supplying the same material. So, that's also one of the ways innovative entrepreneurs could bring something to the table. What are the other ways innovative entrepreneurs could bring? They can reorganize the enterprise so as to achieve monopoly or break up the existing monopoly situation. This is what has been done by Geo. What did they do? Geo Networks, which was not there previously before 2016, the leading network and communication companies, which were Airtel, Vodafone, Idea, and several others, which have now been shut down, MTNL, BSNL, they were they were acquiring the monopolistic situation in the market. They were the leading large players, and they had a say in the market. They were literally ruling the market. They were charging very high amount for giving data or for giving top ups. But after the arrival of Geo, it has created a monopoly situation for itself, broken those oligopolistic or monopolistic players, and it has now achieved a monopoly situation for itself. So, this is also one of the innovative ways in which Geo entered the market, and innovative entrepreneurs could do the same. So, this is what is innovative entrepreneurs. As per Clarence Danhoff, first type of entrepreneurs are what? Innovative entrepreneurs. Innovative entrepreneurs are those who bring any sort of innovation to the market. That innovation may relate to a product or a service. That innovation may relate to the process of to the process or method of bringing the same old product or service. That innovation may relate to uh, finding a new source of supply of the same raw material or semi finished goods. That innovation may relate to reorganizing the market situation or breaking up the monopoly situation or acquiring a monopoly situation. That innovation may relate to finding a new market which was not existing previously, as done by raising superstars. So that is first type of entrepreneur. The second type of entrepreneur is what? Adoptive or imitative entrepreneurs. Adoptive or imitative entrepreneurs exist in underdeveloped or developing economies, because innovation requires what? lot of funds, lot of facilities, lot of researches, lot of support and assistance from the government. But in underdeveloped and in developing economies, the infrastructural facilities or the financial stability may not be conducive to have an innovative product. So what does these underdeveloped and developing economies do? Once an innovation is made in some developed economy, they copy the same, they adopt the same innovation, they imitate the same innovation at a lower cost in their countries. At a lower cost in their countries. So, this is what adoptive or imitative entrepreneurs do. For instance, the auto brake system, which is there in XUV 700. Now, this system, which uh, ensures that the vehicle stops on its own automatically, even at a speed of 120 km per hour, when something crosses in front of the car on its own without driver applying the brake. This facility is being given only by XUV 700 right now in India among the non-luxurious cars. This facility was previously given only in those in luxurious cars like that, like in those of Audi, BMW, and even in Audi, BMW, Porsche, the higher models. Okay, but this was firstly imitated and adopted by XUV 700, wherein brake gets applied on its own without driver having to do anything, even at a speed of 120 km per hour. When something crosses in front of any person or any animal, any living thing crosses from the car, in front of the car. So this is what this has been an adoption. This has been an imitation of the technology which was prevalent in developed nations, which was prevalent in higher model automobiles. So the same has been provided at a very reasonable cost. Even the highest model, even the uh, highest model of this car is available for 27 to 30 lakhs, somewhere around that. So getting this facility in so much of budget wasn't possible previously. But owing to the adoptive or imitative model of entrepreneurship, Anand Mahindra has been able to deliver the same. Fabian entrepreneurs. Fabian entrepreneurs are who? These are the ones who are late adopters. These are the ones who are late adopters. They escape adopting, forget about, like forcing and um, converting the opportunity, converting the changes in the form of an opportunity. Rather, they fail to even adapt it. They fail to accept the need to change themselves, and that is why they do adapt, but at very later stage. But at a very later stage, when it is absolutely of no benefit to them, when the market share has already gone to the competitors, when the customer base that it held upon has already shifted to somebody, to some other competitors. That is the situation with Fabian entrepreneurs. So, for instance, the example here is that of Nokia. Nokia, which is a leading player of the telephone sector, of the mobile sector, they failed to predict the impact of smartphones or Android. They failed to convert that change in an opportunity, which was pretty well done by Samsung. But it is not just Nokia, even BlackBerry failed miserably because they failed to grab the opportunity on right time, because they failed to estimate its impact on the industry, on the firm, because they failed to adopt it on time. So even when they entered the market with changes, they couldn't attain their previous reputation, their previous position, their previous market share, their previous customer loyalty, owing to the delay in adapting the changes. Drone entrepreneurs are the ones who completely ignore or neglect or avoid to adapt any changes. Fabian entrepreneurs, at least they do it off lately, but drone entrepreneurs don't do it at all. They're not ready to change their processes, their products, their services at all. They stick to going ahead with their age old conventional or traditional methods, products, or markets. For instance, the coir industries in India, they have not changed their processes, they've not changed their products, they've not, brought in line with the fine finish technologies, finished products which are available everywhere else. So they completely refuse to adapt to the market changes, and those are drawn entrepreneurs. They're left behind at times, owing to their negligence, owing to their adamant behavior. So these are the four types of entrepreneurs by Clarence Danhoff: innovative, adoptive, Fabian, and drone. Moving ahead to the types of entrepreneurs by Arthur H. Cole, he divided entrepreneurs in three categories. Empirical entrepreneurs are very similar to drone entrepreneurs, as in the ones who are not ready to adapt to the changes of the market, those who refuse to adapt, those who neglect the impact that market changes can bring to their business. Rational entrepreneurs are the ones uh, who act very rationally in the market, act very rationally in the sense these entrepreneurs um, study the need of the hour. They do a research on the need of the hour, on the market impacts of the changes being taking place, and then they adapt themselves to the need. Then they adapt themselves to the current situations, current scenario. Cognitive entrepreneurs are the ones who work on the minds of the experts, on the advices of the expert. So the expert advices are taken in due consideration, and then they adapt to the market changes. The reason for going ahead with the experts is because they themselves do not have so much of knowledge or experience or expertise in the sector. So they rely completely on the um, prejudices of the experts. So these are the type of entrepreneurs by Arthur H. Cole. Moving ahead to what is the role of entrepreneurs in economic growth? How do they contribute to the economic growth? So there are several, some 10 roles of entrepreneurs in economic growth. We'll do them one by one. They perform the role of coordinator. They they act as the coordinator. They coordinate various resources. They coordinate various factors of production and ensure that a suitable product or a suitable services gets delivered to the general public for their consumption, for their benefit, for their assistance. So they coordinate various sources of they coordinate various resources. Second role is the role of innovation. What is the role of innovation? To keep And a nation on the path of progress, on the path of growth, on the path of survival in the competitive age, it is important that there is some or other innovation being taking place in the economy. So it is entrepreneurs who bring innovation to the economy. It is them who introduce innovative products, introduce innovative ways, introduce innovative services to the economy. So, had entrepreneurs not been there, many scientific inventions would have remained as they were. They wouldn't have been put to use at all. Entrepreneurs also perform the role of agents. It performs the agent's role. How do they perform the agent's role? They perceive an opportunity. They perceive an opportunity which exists in the market. They foresee and they perceive it. They act as a catalyst so as to put those opportunities into action. To put those opportunities into action. So this is how they act as in the form of an agent. They act as a catalyst in converting the opportunities into real time benefits. They perform the role of risk assumption. It is entrepreneurs who assume risk. Owing to their risk, there are greater returns, which in turn helps in formation of capital, which in turn increases the GDP of the country. So they are the ones who assume risk. Imitating role. We just did adoptive and imitative entrepreneurs, and very easy to understand that they are imitative entrepreneurs seems to be the best medicine for underdeveloped or developing countries, because otherwise it is very difficult for them to invest into research and development and come across with or keep in line with the innovations which are taking place in the in developed nations. The role of capital formation with entrepreneurs, there is with entrepreneurs there is assistance in capital formation. How come? When the entrepreneurs are doing well, their shares will be sought after by the general public to invest into their shares or in the debentures, or to invest into their companies. General public would be saving more or putting their savings into investments. Those investments in return would create capital formation or would result in capital formation for the nation. Excuse me for a second. So it is with their investments, it is owing to the investments made by the general public, capital formation takes place in an economy. So they contribute, or they have a role to perform in the capital formation of the economy. The balancing role as in they are helping in balanced regional growth. They are helping in getting a balanced regional growth. They not only transform the status of the people, because they are providing employment to people, because they are you know um, establishing themselves even in nooks and corners of the countries, not just in the metropolitan cities. They are not just providing employment to a person, but to the entire family. So providing an employment to a person means providing means of life to the entire family. So they help in raising the standard of living of people. They help in balancing the difference that exists between the richer and the poor. They have a role in generating employment, and they also have a major role to play in export promotion. It is these entrepreneurs, it is these entrepreneurs who also engage into the activities of export and import, majorly export, bringing foreign exchange reserves, balancing the balance of trade and the balance of payment of India. So they have a larger or bigger role to play in the economic development of the country. So these are the roles. Now, moving ahead to the next topic, what is an innovation? Innovation involves introducing anything which is new, anything which was not existing previously. It does not simply mean imitation or copy, but an addition, however small it may be. So, innovation is what? Anything new when brought to the plate, when brought to the market. Anything new. That change can be any small, howsoever small or slight, but there should be something new, some addition. Innovation can be of four kinds. Innovation can be divided in four types: incremental innovation, evolutionary innovation, breakthrough innovation, and experimental innovation. So, incremental innovation, this is an example, and I'm sure you'll be able to understand from the example. Incremental shows what? With passage of time or gradually over the years, some small or large change, whatsoever it may be, has been brought in to the kind of product that we use today, which is what? A cell phone, a mobile phone. Okay, started from landline and then uh, simple phones to the flip ones to the Android phones that we use today. It has only enhanced over the years. So incremental innovation is this, where gradually over the years some or other addition, however small or large it may be, has been made to the product. So you see, this is the reason currently I think we are having what? iPhone 14, I guess. And among Samsung also we have some Samsung S22, 23. I'm not aware about the latest one, but yes. But yet, with every single series of phone being launched, what is the need rather of launching every year one series of phone? There is surely some advancement, some increment in the current model than the previous one. So that's called as incremental innovation. Evolutionary innovation. Evolutionary, something that people could have never thought of. Evolutionary, something that people could have never thought of. Even today, it seems very difficult to believe that, a four wheeler could be purchased for rupees 1 lakh. That's an evolutionary innovation. That's an evolutionary innovation. The nano story. This is an evolutionary innovation. Okay. Breakthrough innovation. Breakthrough when there is major uh, change in the mode of operation or in the mode of a product that has been existing since ages. For instance, the electric vehicles, the electric automobiles, the electric um, vehicle that has started now in India. At some point of time, 10 years, 15 years down the line, it seemed impossible. Although there were electric vehicles in other nation, in other countries, Tesla always had one. But in India, it seemed like it wouldn't be possible because we didn't have electricity at our home 10 years, 15 years down the line. Regular supply, it is still not there in most of the areas of our country, mostly rural areas. Okay, so under such circumstances, even thinking of substituting the petrol or diesel automobiles with an electric one seemed impossible, but it did happen, and it is quite it is proven to be quite a breakthrough. So that's a breakthrough innovation. Experimental innovation, when are those innovations where you were not sure of what exactly are you trying to find, what exactly are you trying to come out with, but in the process of doing something you come up with a product. This mostly happens in the food sector. This mostly happens in the food sector, in the fast food sectors. All the variants that Lay's has launched, just to let you know, they were never sure of what are they making. When something turned out to be good, they thought, why not make this as a product. So it is, all their flavors have been launched as a part of what, experimental innovation. And this is true for most of the packaged food that exists in India or anywhere for that matter of reason. So this is called experimental innovation. So I hope you're through with the concept of innovation. Does anybody has any queries till now?
No, ma'am, it was quite clear.
Okay. So I'll proceed further. There's this concept of frugal innovation. Would rather uh, make you see this video so that you get better clarity. Um, okay, you see the video first and then I'll explain you the concept. I hope that it will be clear from the video itself. So I'm going to play the video. Let me know in case the sound is not clear. I hope the voice is clear. You're able
It's
to.
a little, it's like it's far away, the voice. It's a little unclear.
Okay, there's nothing much that I can do about this video, so I've increased the volume,
Okay.
and just go through it. I hope that you'll understand just by looking at it. It's a small video. Once it's over, then I'll help you explain the concept.
Okay, sure.
Feature features provide marginal incremental benefits which do not justify their complexity and cost. This approach to innovation and development does not support either inclusive growth or environmental sustainability. To grow in a sustainable manner, we need to adopt frugality in our innovation strategies. Being frugal in product design implies being mindful of resource consumption, users' requirements, and contextual constraints while developing products. Frugal innovation creates good enough products that directly target the user requirements without any additional frills, doing one thing very well rather than many at a time. Frugal innovation has multiple benefits. Firstly, simplicity. No unnecessary features lead to easy to use end products. Second, affordability. Minimal resource consumption ensures economic affordability for the users and the ability to reach out to a wide user base. And finally, environmental sustainability through mindful resource consumption. Frugal innovation aims to bring maximum value to the users while minimizing the use of resources. Let us look at some real world examples of how this is being done. Massive online open courses or MOOCs, such as Coursera, the Khan Academy, MIT OpenCourseWare, etc., have become a widely used mode of learning. MOOCs are often conducted by experienced professionals in top global institutions. Before the advent of MOOCs, the materials taught by these professionals were only available to the small group of people who went to these global institutions. The availability of MOOCs on the internet at affordable prices makes this content accessible to students all over the world. Additionally, MOOCs provide a platform for community-based learning, where students can learn from their global peers. To reduce prices and disruptive innovation, MOOCs are able to address the demands of a wide user base with minimal resource consumption. Frugal innovation puts great emphasis on reducing our resource consumption. One way of doing this is to be smarter with the resources that we already have. Consider Airbnb. It enables owners to rent out spare rooms in their house. This model allows owners with spare rooms to earn additional income on their existing idle assets. Additionally, the low prices makes these rooms more affordable and accessible to the travelers. By providing a shared economy-based internet platform, Airbnb is enabling a greater number of people to travel by creating value from previously underutilized assets. Frugal innovation focuses on the user's contextual constraints to prudently utilize resources. Consider the portable ultrasound machine developed by General Electric. Ultrasound is a common medical diagnostic technique. However, the traditional ultrasound machines are bulky and expensive, thereby restricting their usage to hospitals and labs. Engineers at GE developed special peripherals that can be connected to a laptop for performing ultrasound tests. The low cost and small form factor of the GE ultrasound machine enables its usage in point of care settings such as rural villages. By accommodating the user's financial constraints and geographical limitations, the GE portable ultrasound machine is able to bring affordable healthcare to the masses. Frugal innovations use fewer resources to create greater value in highly efficient, socially inclusive, and environmentally sustainable manner. As we move forward, frugality in our innovation strategies is necessary to ensure socially inclusive and sustainable growth. By adopting simplicity, user-centric approach, and resource mindfulness in our designs, we can create more value at lesser costs to serve greater number of people. Imagine a world where we grow together in harmony with the nature. Wouldn't it be simply amazing?
So this was a very comprehensive video, and with along with examples. So I hope you understood what is frugal innovation. This is also a kind of innovation under which it is important to be mindful about the resources that you are putting to use. So frugal innovation is providing the minimal so as the core purpose of a product gets solved, so as to solve just the basic purpose of a product or a service. Even Tata Nano, for that matter of reason, was what? It was born out of a frugal innovation. When Ratan Tata saw a family of four traveling on a scooter, he realized the risk that it poses to the kids, so who are traveling with the parents. So all that he wanted is to provide them a safe vehicle wherein there is least exposure to the kids or to the family. So the purpose was what? To provide safety, so as to within the closed doors the impact of any accidents, if in case it happens, would be minimum. So what did he do? He provided something, a four wheeler for a lakh rupees with minimum facilities in it. So this is what is a frugal innovation: to use minimal resources so as to just solve the purpose of a product. Now, understanding an intrapreneur and an entrepreneur. Intrapreneur and an entrepreneur. So, do you recognize these people? Famous people? No? They're the founders of Apple. This Steve
Steve
Jobs.
Jobs.
And who's this? Less popular than Steve Jobs, but he too was a college dropout just like Steve Jobs. Steve Wozniak. Steve Wozniak. To understand intrapreneur, or what or how can entrepreneurs be harmed by not recognizing intrapreneur, I've taken this example. So Steve Wozniak was the one who was responsible for the major development of the Apple product. The Apple product, the laptop, as well as the mobile phones as you see it today, the basic development, the basic model of the phone as well as the laptop was developed by Steve Wozniak. Okay. And he developed this for Apple because as an employee in his previous company, in his previous organization, when he wanted to develop the same product for that company, they refused. They said, no, you are here only to do your work, the one that has been defined to you, stick to that. We do not want any innovations coming up your way. Would you believe which was the company, his previous company? HP, Hewlett Packard. Now just imagine HP, by not letting Wozniak come up with a new product for HP, created its biggest competition till date, which is Apple. Okay. So because they did not let its employee Steve Wozniak develop a product for HP, he wanted to develop it only for HP, not for himself. But because the management did not provide him the opportunity to come up with the innovation that he had in his mind, it resulted in him switching the company, leaving the company, and founding Apple with his other two co-founders. So this is the role of an intrapreneur. So who's an intrapreneur? Intrapreneur is an employee in a company. Intrapreneur is an employee in a company who has some ideas, in his mind, have a target to put his idea into an actual product or service for the sake of sheer happiness or peace, or to be at content. It is not for the purpose of earning money self, but with an objective of making more profits for the company, for the entrepreneur. If entrepreneurs are given the said opportunity of letting their inner creativity come out and get transitioned into a fruitful product or service for the company, that could result in a that can result in a that can result in the growth and development of the company itself. That can result in earning huge profits for the company. So this is what entrepreneurs are. Entrepreneurs are the entrepreneur within the organization. Entrepreneurs are the entrepreneurs within the organization. So the difference between entrepreneur and entrepreneur, whereas entrepreneurs are independent, they are the boss. Entrepreneurs are dependent on the entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are nothing but the employees. Entrepreneurs are nothing but the employees. Such employees who are highly motivated, very creative, have a willingness to do something, to achieve something, to contribute more to the organization. So while entrepreneurs are independent, entrepreneurs are dependent on the entrepreneurs. They need not be highly educated. Dhirubhai Ambani, he wasn't educated, but he was an entrepreneur. Whereas when these entrepreneurs will look out for employees, they would look for people who are highly educated. So entrepreneurs are highly educated. Entrepreneurs indulge into fundraising. They need finances, so they go to the market, they go to uh, VCs, they go to venture capitalists, they go to the general public, they go to government for assistance, they distribute their shares, they issue bonds, they issue debentures, they lend money from they borrow money from the banks. So they are involved in fundraising. So if there is a product that one of my employees want to come up with, I have to worry about where to arrange the funds from. Whereas the employee or the entrepreneur doesn't have to worry about fundraising, has to only focus on the product. Entrepreneur has to bear the risk. If the product fails, the risk has to be borne by the entrepreneur. Whereas nothing will be lost by the employee except his morale. If the product fails, there is no actual monetary risk or monetary loss to be borne by the entrepreneur or the employee. Entrepreneur does his routine work, whereas entrepreneurs do specialized work because they are the one who possess technical knowledge. They are the ones who are educated. Entrepreneurs may operate from outside. It is not necessary for them to report to the office every day, whereas for entrepreneurs, they have to operate from inside the organization on a regular basis. Entrepreneurs have strong authoritarian relationship, whereas with employees, with entrepreneurs lies less authority and more adaptability. Co-preneurs, who are co-preneurs? When husband and wife, when the spouses together come out to start an enterprise of their own, they are called as co-preneurs. When the spouses come together to start their enterprise, they are called as co-preneurs. So they are the founders of Sugar Cosmetics, Vinita Singh and I'm forgetting the name of the husband, some Mukherjee, Kaushik Mukherjee. So they are who? Co-preneurs. Whenever the spouses, the husband and wife together are the founders or co-founders of a enterprise, they are called as co-preneurs. Now, in your first unit of MER 02 Block 1, you will find several theories of entrepreneurship. Now, these entrepreneurship theories that are given in your book are given in a haywire manner, wherein the philosophers or the thinkers, the management thinkers or the management gurus uh, have given several theories, and your book has presented it in a similar fashion, wherein there's no proper classification, but the theories are known by the name itself, name of the philosophers itself. So what I have done here is for your convenience, because whatever is given in the book is totally correct. That's more um, that's detailed description, and you ought to read it. But from the examination point of view, you would need a comprehensive uh, data, so that understanding and presenting the same becomes easier. So what I have done just for your convenience is I have classified those theories under 8 heads. Under 8 heads. If you look into your book, this the same topic has been presented in a different manner. So I have classified those theories under 7 heads. There were 8 heads, but I deleted the eighth one because it didn't had much relevance to as compared to other theories. So I've classified those theories under 7 heads: innovation theory, sociological theory of entrepreneurship, economic theory of entrepreneurship, opportunity based theory of entrepreneurship, psychological based theory of entrepreneurship, resource based theory of entrepreneurship, and finally, anthropological theory of entrepreneurship. So, we'll be understanding these theories one by one, and wherever there are some popular management thinkers or gurus who have propounded these theory, I have named them. In other cases, it is not possible for you practically to remember the name of 14 to 16 management thinkers or gurus. Therefore, I have reduced it to the ones who are popular, to the ones where you have to mention the name while explaining these theories. So, to start with, what is an innovative theory? Innovation theory of entrepreneurship. Innovation theory of entrepreneurship is the one which is propounded by the most popular management guru of entrepreneurship, which is Joseph Schumpeter. So Schumpeter said that innovative theory means having innovative solutions or finding innovative solutions to the existing problems and having foresightedness. So Schumpeter said that innovation means finding innovation solutions to the problems, existing problems. Every product or service that you see today is actually a solution to some problem that was existing. So a product or service gets launched or comes in the market only to solve some problem being faced by the general public or by anyone. Okay. So to find innovative solutions and to have foresightedness, to have to to have foresightedness, as in to predict, to foresee what lies ahead in the future. The theory was propounded by Joseph Schumpeter, who is also popularly called as the father of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs bring innovation in 2 ways, according to Schumpeter. One, by reducing cost of production. Two, by increasing the demand of certain products. Now try and understand, if the cost of production does not have to reduce, you can bring as many innovations as you want. But then at the same time, because the cost of production is not reducing, you're also bringing the same at an increased cost. The prices to be paid by the public becomes more, and its affordability decreases. So the idea of entrepreneurship is to provide solutions at affordable rates. So your innovations should be on affordable rates, based on affordable rates. So this can, or the other way of bringing innovation is to increase the demand of certain products. How will you increase the demand of certain products? If there's some good innovation, if there is some good addition to your product or service, the demand will get increased. Or if you have come up with an innovative way to market your product or service, even then the demand will rise. For instance, OnePlus mobiles. What was this OnePlus mobiles? If you look at the history, if you look at the history of how uh, OnePlus 7 phone was started to be sold, it wasn't available to all. There was a system wherein people had to literally uh, be in queue to get one model of the same. So it is owing to its unavailability, it is owing to the market strategy that was adapted by the founders of One Plus Phone, that it gained quick popularity, quick demand in less amount of time, in very short period of time. Okay, so you have to be innovative, you have to either reduce the cost of production, or you have to increase the demand of certain products. This is what innovative theory of entrepreneurship says. Rest, what is innovation, what are the ways in which innovation can take place, we've already done it uh, in the previous slides. Economic theories of entrepreneurship. Economic theory of entrepreneurship says that economy and entrepreneurship are two sides of the same coin. They go hand in hand. If the entrepreneurs are doing well, the economy will do well. If the entrepreneurs are not doing well, the economy will also not uh, be in a stable situation. The economic theory of entrepreneurship says that there's a strong relationship between economy and entrepreneurship. They say growth of one leads to growth of another, decline in one leads to decline in another. Economic theory says that entrepreneurs find motivation in the presence of economic incentives, such as industrial policy, taxation policies, financial and sources, availability of infrastructure, investment opportunities, etc. etc. So, entrepreneurs get motivated in the presence of economic incentives, if any. These incentives uh, may be provided by some associations of industries, or may be provided by government. This theory, this economic theory, was proposed by Richard Cantillon. Richard Cantillon, I am quoting his name because he gained a lot of popularity here out of his reasoning for economic theory. Under his reasoning for the theory, he even included beggars as entrepreneurs. He even included, from beggars to restaurant owners, he included everyone under the ambit of entrepreneurs. So he said even beggars, even though they do not have any fixed source of income, but yet, owing to the economic incentives, owing to the economic gains, they too are engaged into doing something or other to obtain some amount of money. So, Richard Cantillon gained popularity owing to his rationalization of this theory. Sociological theory of entrepreneurship. This was given by Max Weber. Max Weber is quite a popular management guru. Max Weber said that Entrepreneurship does not necessarily means running a business, starting or initiating a business and running the business for the purpose of making profit. Rather, to be a successful entrepreneur, the entrepreneurs need to have a sociological bent of mind, sociological bent of mind wherein they are conscious of the social costs and the social benefits that they are bringing to the society. They have to be mindful of the social taboos, the customs, the culture, and certain other religious beliefs which play a major role in succeeding the entrepreneurs. Okay, so when social taboos, customs, cultures, and other religious beliefs are kept in mind while running and maintaining their businesses, there is higher or greater chance of succeeding. Psychological theory of entrepreneurship said that there are three uh, stages to entrepreneurship. There are three reasons, there are three factors which are responsible for making them successful entrepreneurs. One being the locus of control. Locus of control, as in how is their business getting controlled. It can be controlled in internal ways or in external ways. Internal locus of control means that they themselves are the one who are controlling their organization, controlling their contributing to their organization. It is it is owing to their risk assumption, it is owing to their innovative ways that the organization has reached wherever it has. Whereas there could be other locus of control, which is the external locus of controls, means the organization has reached this stage not just out of its own intensity or own hard work or own innovation, but also because of support of certain other parties. Those could be their competitors, those could be the government, those could be some um, large international organizations like IMF, World Bank, etc., etc., UN, WHO, anything like that. So, locus of control could be either located inside or outside the organization. Personality traits, as in how are the entrepreneurs taking it? Are they mindful about their contributions to the society? Are they mindful about um, the ways in which it is shaping the attitude and behaviors or the personality of the employees in the society with the help and the larger society with the help of the products or the services that they are providing? So this is what personality says. Theory of need for achievement. Theory for need for achievement will be covering in the next slides, so I will discuss this in detail over there. uh, right now I will just give you give you a brief description. Theory for of need for achievement means how desirous, how ambitious, how driven are the entrepreneurs for uh, achieving or reaching a successful place in the market. So that is theory of need for achievement. How much needy are they for achieving something? Okay, so it's about their inner drive. Opportunity based theory, this was given by Peter Drucker. The definition of entrepreneurship that we just did in the first or second slide. An entrepreneur always searches for change, responds to it, and exploits it as an opportunity. I told you about the three aspects in this definition: look for change, respond to it in the form of opportunity, and respond to it in an innovative way, right? So Peter Drucker said that under opportunity based theory, an entrepreneur is the one who searches for change, responds to it, and exploits it as an opportunity in an innovative way. Resource based theory focused on showing the importance of certain or several resources which are combined together to run an enterprise. So several factors of production or several sources are required so as to run an organization, so as to uh, make an organization succeed in the market. And those resources or those resources could be financial resources, social resources, human resources, etc., etc. So this is resource based theory, which says that entrepreneurship is nothing but an amalgamation of resources required. Anthropological theory. Anthropology is what? It studies the human aspects within the past and the present. So similarly, the anthropologist theory of entrepreneurship presses on the fact that entrepreneurs need to study the past mistakes or the past behaviors or the past actions of its competitors, of the other entrepreneurs. They need to be good observers, and only then they will be able to make their venture a success. So, what does entrepreneurial theory presses upon? Anthropological theory presses upon the fact that they need to be mindful about what has happened in the past. They need to account for what events, what actions have already taken place in past, and they should consider the social and cultural contexts of it so as to succeed. Okay. Uh, Now, any questions till now? No.
No, no. No.
Okay. So proceeding further, entrepreneurial motivation and behavior. What is entrepreneurial behavior? Entrepreneurial behavior is a set of behavior that individual exhibits which allows them to innovate or to improve upon existing ideas so as to market a product or service effectively in a competitive market, in a competitive place. So what is entrepreneurial behavior? Set of behavior which allows them to innovate, which allows them to improve upon the existing ideas. Entrepreneurial behavior can be classified under two types: strategic entrepreneurship and effectual entrepreneurship. What is strategic entrepreneurship? Strategic entrepreneurship is pretty much related to the definition of Peter Drucker that you just did. It is the pursuit of opportunity, the ability for an entrepreneur to spot an opportunity, to capitalize on it using underutilized resources and deliver value without regard to resources that are currently owned or controlled. So, what is strategic entrepreneurship? Strategic entrepreneurship is basically looking out for an opportunity. And if you see an opportunity, grab it. No matter what resources are required to fulfill or to cater to the needs of that opportunity. Whether you own those resources or whether you don't, grab upon the opportunity. Okay. Strategic entrepreneurship relies on the ability of an entrepreneurship to seek both opportunity and competitive advantage simultaneously, even if it requires tapping into new resources completely. So there are two aspects which are being discussed here. Strategic entrepreneurship requires what? It requires that you have to not just find out an opportunity and grab it, but also ensure that you do it in a better way than your competitors. Even if you do not own the resources for doing the same, get the resources, tap the resources. Now, this is not something that every enterprise can afford. So, definitely, strategic entrepreneurship is meant for whom? For large enterprises, for big players of the market. For instance, what Geo did. Geo did not any expertise in the communication and network sector. But when it saw an opportunity that Android mobiles have become very popular. People have started possessing two mobiles. There is no leading player in the market except Airtel and Vodafone, and both of them are very costly. It grabbed the opportunity. It entered it with no expertise, with no previous resources. It entered and conquered the market. It did it better than its competitors, right? So, this is strategic entrepreneurship. What is effectual entrepreneurship? Effectual entrepreneurship is when you rely on the resources that you already possess and utilize them effectively to ensure success. Now, you see, the major difference between strategic and effectual entrepreneurship is regarding to the resources. In strategic entrepreneurship, you might not own the resources, but if there is an opportunity, just grab it and get the resources and do it. For which you would, of course, need what? Good financial system, good backing. Whereas under effectual entrepreneurship, it is saying that you don't have to look out for new resources because that's not something that everyone can afford. But even with the available resources, try to utilize it in a very efficient manner, so that efficient and effective manner, so as to uh, be a leader of whatever you are doing. For instance, when we talk about effectual leadership, Tata. Tata was always there in automobiles, right? Tata 407, Tata makes buses, Tata makes four wheelers, right? So Tata was always into Tata Magic. Tata was always into automobiles. So what it did, rather than venturing into a new sector, it ensured that in the same sector, it will expand itself to an extent to achieve great success, to have a competitive advantage. So it acquired Jaguar, it acquired Land Rover, it um, it further went and bought Air Asia, it bought Vistara, it bought Indian Airlines, right? Not Indian Airlines, Air India. So that's effectual entrepreneurship. Expanding into the same area, into the same field that you own resources for. Okay. What are the key elements of entrepreneurial behavior? You have to mitigate risk. You have to reduce risk. You have to be prepared for it, but at the same time, reduce it. The ability to bootstrap. Bootstrap means arranging internal sources of funds. Arranging internal sources of funds. Funds from your own savings, funds from your friends, family, neighbors. Not taking loan is bootstrap. Under bootstrap, you do not take loans, okay? Understanding that certain losses will be there and you have to accept it. You should know what is the loss that you can bear, that you can afford. Certain losses are undeniable in entrepreneurship. Finding out what are those affordable losses for you is another entrepreneurial behavior, like your saturation point, your limits. Pivoting wherever necessary. Pivoting means changing your way. If required, change your stream, change your way, change your product, change your methods. That is pivoting, changing as per requirement. So these are popular 5 P's for entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs should be persistent. Entrepreneurs should be persistent. It's not going to be an easy journey. You have to be persistent. You have to live through it. You have to go through it. You don't have to give up. They need to be patient. It doesn't happen like a slot shot game. You have to be patient. It takes time. It takes time to rise. It takes time to succeed. It takes time to get a hold of the market. You should know your purpose. You should know your purpose. Why were you here at the first place? That will only help you to survive, to stay there for long. You should know your people. Always have a team. It's not a matter of one person ever. It takes a full lot of team, a whole lot of team. You should have your people. As much as our as much as is technology important, so much so are people. You cannot go ahead without them. And always remember that you'll have to make profit. If there's no profit, you'll not be able to survive in the market. You'll not just be losing upon yourself, but also upon your employees, their families, the nation, the country. It is very important for you to earn profit, to make profits. What are the ways in which entrepreneurs can be motivated? Motivation actually results into entrepreneurship. Highly motivated people become good entrepreneurs. So there's a close relationship between the two. Motivation is an inner drive which ignites and sustains a particular behavior which satisfies the need. Once the need is satisfied, another need arises, and again there is an inner drive, and again there is ignition and sustaining of the behavior. So there's a vicious circle, it goes on. What behavior are we talking about over here? What behavior are we talking about here? There are two kinds of behavior. One behavior that is being caused, another which is spontaneous. We are talking about the caused behavior over here, not the spontaneous. Entrepreneurship doesn't happen spontaneously. I'm here um, out of no plan. That's not how it happens. Okay. Entrepreneurship requires a lot of planning. It requires uh, a lot of motivation, a lot of inner drive. So there's a caused behavior. There's a lot of push that it requires. Entrepreneurial motivation is what? It is a result of various factors that stimulate desire and activates enthusiasm so as to attain a particular goal. Theories of motivation. There are two theories of motivation. One is Maslow's need hierarchy theory, another is Mechlin's acquired need theory. Now, this Mechlin's acquired need theory, here we will study the need for achievement theory, the one that you saw in the previous slides. What is Maslow's need hierarchy model? This is something that you must have heard or read of in your class 12th business studies if you hail from commerce background, or even in your graduation. Maslow was the one who propounded this model. He said that his model was based on two basic assumptions. One assumption was that only one need can be satisfied at a time, And the second assumption was that the needs occur in a hierarchy. There is this set hierarchy in the order of which needs can be needs arises and can be fulfilled. Now these two assumption itself became its biggest demerit. How, we will see to it later. So Maslow said that need hierarchy theory has five kinds of need. The first need is the physiological need, which is the need for air, water, food, shelter, etc., etc. The second need is that of safety or security. That means job. The third need is that of love and belongingness. That means to have friends around, to have family around. The fourth need is that of esteem needs, to have a respectable position in the organization, to get a recognition in the organization. And fifth is that of self actualization, which is the desire to become something that you are capable of becoming, that you're meant to be. Now, self actualization, it is not something that people know also about. Not everyone knows about it. Okay. So it is something that you're meant to do, something that you can do the best, something that is your inner drive, something that is uh, a bit different from what you are pursuing currently. So that's self actualization need. Um, so Maslow gave this need hierarchy model, wherein these five models, wherein these five needs are achieved in a set manner, in a hierarchical manner, in a pre-defined order. The two assumptions that it took, that he took, turned out to be the reason of the failure for this need hierarchy model. The first assumption was that only one need can be satisfied at one point of time. Not true. In case, let's say, right after my graduation, I find a decent job in an MNC with good pay. My physiological needs as well as my esteem needs get satisfied at the same time. Right after my graduation, if I become an IAS officer, I crack the UPSC civil services exam, my physiological needs, my safety needs, because now I have a government job, my esteem needs, all of these get satisfied at the same point of time. Okay. So not that only one need can be satisfied at a time, and also this doesn't move in a hierarchical model, in a hierarchical way. The order defined doesn't fit true with the same examples that I gave you. If I become an IAS officer, my physiological will be satisfied, but my need for love and belonging, which perhaps falls below the esteem needs as per the model of Maslow, has not been satisfied. So these do not follow a particular order. That's the these are the two demerits because of which Maslow need hierarchy theory failed. But yet it is one of the most popular theories. Owing to its failure, McClend, another management guru, came up with a theory which is the acquired need theory. So McClend came across with the acquired need theory. He categorized these five needs of Maslow's under three groups. Those groups are need for power, need for achievement, and need for affiliation. So, affiliation, as in the need for belongingness, the need for love, the need for having friends and family around. Need for achievement, as in to the that means people who are highly motivated and want to achieve something. Need for power, this is about esteem needs, to have a decent powerful position that could satisfy your ego needs, that could satisfy your esteem needs. McClend acquired need theory says that entrepreneurial motivation may be defined as a set of motives such as high need to achieve, moderate need for power, and low affiliation motives. So, McLean said that out of these three needs that I've classified, that I've grouped, need for power, need for affiliation, need for achievement, those people, those people with high entrepreneurial motivation or with entrepreneurial traits will have moderate need for power, low need for affiliation. They wouldn't care about having friends around. Okay, they wouldn't care about having power, but all that they would care about is having high need to achieve. They want to achieve something, they want to prove themselves, they want to succeed in life. So all those people with entrepreneurial motivation would have high need to achieve, moderate need for power, and low affiliation needs. So that is how McClend classified uh, the need theory for entrepreneurs. So there could be, so if we dwell deeper into what motivates entrepreneurs to become entrepreneurs, to start their enterprises, then we can come across these two factors responsible for it. One, the internal factors, and second, the external factors. Internal factors consists of the educational background. If the educational background is such that facilitates me to start my own entrepreneurial journey, for instance, I am a software engineer. My background is such so that I could, start my freelancing into providing softwares to certain companies. Or, for instance, I've done MBA in finance. So I could start an enterprise wherein I would be providing fintech services. Okay. So if your educational background is such which supports or which motivates you to start your enterprise, your occupational experience could be such. If I have worked in cyber security for a reputed organization for 10 years, I know everything about it. So now I can start my own freelancing services. Okay. Or if I've worked into the beauty sector, into the manufacturing of beauty products, I already know all that is required and I can start my own enterprise. If you have desire to do something pioneering and innovative, if you are very ambitious and you want to do something, you want to achieve something, you want to bring some innovation, then you would be out to become an entrepreneur. The desire to be free and independent, if you don't want to have any boss on your head, you want to be at your own free will, you want to work at your own pace, then also you would be motivated to start something of your own. And if your family background is such which provides you the required expertise or the required experience or support to start something of your own, that too is one of the major motivators for starting an entrepreneurship. Then there are certain external factors such as assistance from the government. If the government is running such schemes wherein entrepreneurs are getting a lot of benefits, lot of assistance, lot of support, then several people might go ahead and go ahead with their basic uh, natural instinct of starting an entrepreneurship. If there is any assistance from financial institutions, if there is availability of technology and raw material, easy easy access, Availability of technology and raw materials pushes us to become an entrepreneur. Whereas if raw material or technology has to be imported, then for anything that we wish to start with, then we will have our own uh, inhibitions in starting our entrepreneurial journey. Then if there are big business units which are supporting you, then also you might think of starting it. And if there's heavy demand for a product, if there is heavy demand for a product, then also you'll be motivated to start the entrepreneurial journey. What are the factors responsible for entrepreneurial growth, or factors contributing to entrepreneurial growth? Sometimes it is the entrepreneurial ambitions. Ambitions in the sense, if you are ambitious to make money, if you wish to continue your family business, if you are bent upon having an independent lifestyle and living, if you wish to fulfill the desire of yourself or of some other people who are very close to you, if you want to gain or attain some social prestige, under such circumstances, you will grow your enterprise like anything. Then there could be certain other compelling reasons at times. For instance, unemployment. You did not have a job. What are you left with to start something of your own? If you're dissatisfied with the current job or with your current occupation, under such consideration, you're compelled to start something of your own. If you want to use some idle funds, something that you've received in inheritance, funds lying idle with you, then also you would be compelled to start something of your own. If you have certain technical or professional skills which you're not able to use in your current profession, which is resulting in dissatisfaction, then also you would start wish to start something on your own. So these are the compelling reasons which are responsible for the entrepreneurial growth. And then there are some facilitating factors such as success stories of other entrepreneurs. Somebody that they started something, they've achieved, they've made it big over there, and then you also feel pushed to do something of your own. Your previous association, you knew certain clients from your current job, and they are helping you out to start something of your own. They will now associate their company with your um, enterprise and not with the previous company that you were working with. So if you have support from your clients, if you have certain previous associations who are helping you out, if there is some expertise, there is some experience, there is some um, information that you've gotten from your previous employment which you can use here, if you've inherited some property and you have a lot of funds, you have some space, or if there is some advice or influence from the family members, those reasons are also responsible for entrepreneurial growth. Now, the achievement motivation theory, this is an important theory over here. The achievement motivation theory, which was developed by David McCland. Um, in short form, it is written as hash small n dash ACH. That's the short form of achievement theory. Need for achievement. It refers to the need for personal accomplishment. It is the drive to excel. It is the drive to strive for success and to achieve something in relation to a set of standards, certain goals that you've set for yourself, certain standards that you've set for yourself. Then there was this experiment that was done in Hyderabad. Uh, there's this place called Kakinada, close to Hyderabad, where this experiment was done in India. So McClelland did the initial stage of operation in initial stage of experiment in three countries: Mexico, USA, and India. And then they later decided, McClelland along with his team, they later decided to continue the later stages, to continue the second stage of experiment in either of the countries, which was India. So they chose a place, Kakinada, where there were a lot of enterprises, there were a lot of companies, there were a lot of businesses. So they did their research here, wherein McClelland tried to induce achievement motivation in adults, because uninduced achievement motivation takes long time to bear fruit. So under this experiment, the first stage, the starting point was where McClelland induced achievement motivation. He forced people to be ambitious, to be motivated, to achieve something. Because had he not induced it externally, otherwise, in general term, it takes a lot of time to have the same. So, this is Kakinada. The experiment was done in 1994. The objective of the experiment was to break the barrier of limited aspirations. That is the reason there was induced motivation. They wanted to break the barrier of limited aspirations. They wanted people to have high aspirations. They wanted people to have high motivations. Under Kakinada experiment, three groups of people. Under Kakinada experiment, there were some 56 people who were divided into three groups. Those three group of people were sent for training to Small Industrial Extension Training Institute, SIETI Hyderabad. SIETI Hyderabad. So people were uh, were grouped in three teams, and all those three teams, they attained a training program at SIETI Hyderabad. Under the experiment, under the training that was uh, undertaken by these group of people, certain activities were done. What was it? Those activities basically consisted of stimulating imagination, encouraging introspection into personal motivation and communication goals. They stimulated imagination and they encouraged introspection into personal motivation and community goals. The training course contained four main items, which was firstly, that the individual should strive to attain concrete and frequent feedback. It's important to get feedback. So, under the first model, they made people understand that it is important to have frequent feedbacks. The second major item was that the participants were made to look up to certain other participants who performed very well so basically figuring out your role models. And the third item was to imagine themselves, set realistic goals and imagine themselves achieving the same. And then the last stage was where they were asked to overcome daydreaming, rather be realistic, think and talk to themselves in positive terms. After 2 years, when an assessment was done as to what is the current situation of those people who underwent the training, they figured out that they were able to perform better, made more money, they got faster promotion, and they expanded their business very quickly owing to the structure of the training. So, what were the findings? The findings were to have active business behavior and work for long hours with focus, with determination. The experiment resulted in realizing that caste or traditional beliefs or Western ways did not determine the mental makeup. It was rather the training, because it was done in three different countries: USA, India, and Mexico. So it's not that, India in 1964, which was very stereotypical, which had a patriarchal set, did not, which where caste and traditional beliefs were very prevalent. So, these things did not become a hinder in achieving people, in making people achieve. So it is likely to improve those who have willingness to do something. If you have something within you, you will be able to achieve it. So this was the Kakinada experiment. You can now next that we have to start with is women entrepreneurs. So a lot of units of your MER 02 are dedicated to women entrepreneurs, around 2 to 3 as far as I remember. I gave a quick look at those units and I figured out a lot is there for women entrepreneurs. So we will finish up with, so we will start women entrepreneurs tomorrow. Along with that, once we finish going through the slides that I've prepared for you, we will quickly go through the blogs also, the units also. The 13 units, those are there in your MER 02. Certain topics that I have not included in my slide are very basics. For instance, evolution of entrepreneurship in India. So how entrepreneurship has always existed from since the time beginning, even during the British Raj, even after the British Raj, even during the Swadeshi movement, which was led by Gandhi ji. So all of that is very theoretical in nature, and therefore I have not included it. I'll just give you an overview of the same, or we'll just go through the unit plan tomorrow. Okay, after we will be done with women entrepreneurship. So, any queries, any questions? I'm open to questions.
I had one question out here. When you mentioned the women are entrepreneurs is something that should be the focus. However, it's not really in detail in the book. So, is that something that we need to figure online?
No, no, it is there. Uh, which have you referred to all the blocks?
I've referred not to all. I've referred to the
Yeah.
first two.
So yeah. Okay. So if you've referred to only block one, then you will see that only there's one paragraph
Sure.
about women
Yeah.
entrepreneurs which is given, right? But
Yeah.
in the further blogs, in block 2 or block 3, there is one or two unit which is dedicated to women entrepreneurs. There are case studies also.
Understood.
Okay.
Understood.
So if you
थर्ड
refer
में
to,
होगा then. ठीक है.
हाँ, सेकंड और थर्ड में किसी में है, मैंने देखा था. So anyway,
Yeah.
any other queries? No? Sir Rajesh, sir?
Yes, ma'am. As usual, I enjoyed your session. A lot of things
Thank you.
I also learned from your session, and today's was especially too good. So I'm
Thank you.
sure our students would also have enjoyed it a great deal.
I did not have my college today, so I could
I know, I
spend
know.
some time on the slides.
Very true.
Otherwise, during regular classes, it becomes difficult to prepare
Yeah, I
slides
can understand
professionally.
that.
So
That is the problem with many of the teachers. But what to do? Our schedule is more or less like this. So we
I
have to
know, sir.
somehow adjust with it. So thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for the session today. And we will
Thank you.
meet tomorrow at the same time. I also thank
Sure,
the
sir.
students for joining the session.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay, sir.
ma'am. Thank you so
And
much.
thank
Thank you,
and
everyone.
and as usual, the recordings will be up there in the YouTube channel of Igno Asigodagara.
Rajesh sir, and where will I get the YouTube recording? I have a question from the website.
Pardon me. കേട്ടില്ല.
ഞാനത് സെർച്ച് ചെയ്യായിരുന്നു ഒന്ന് കിട്ടിയില്ല എനിക്ക് അതിന്റെ
കുഴപ്പമില്ല. Tomorrow I'll give you the links. I'll paste the links on the chat tomorrow. Don't worry about that. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.